I've been knocking doors since I was 13 years old. And I want you to know one thing. As an entrepreneur that's already built $25 million in roofs this year, I'm still knocking doors. Sacrifice is real. We travel across the country chasing hailstorms and hurricanes, but now we're training a nation how to increase their profits, how to duplicate themselves. There was a problem in the marketplace, a mass expansion, a mass exodus of contractors coming to the market, bringing direct salespeople in competition. The cream rose to the top. We took a different approach. Instead of being scared of social media, scared of the internet, scared of the digital roof experience, we embraced it. We taught our competition everything we knew. We put our business in a box. We trained the whole industry on how to maximize their profits, scale their company, and close more deals. I'm here on the way to a new destination. That's my boy Alan Charity. That's Las Vegas, Nevada. Brad Lea, interactive sales training coach to Grant Cardone, Damon John, Tony Robbins. We make the sacrifice, take the time away from our $1 million a week contracting operation just to train you. And now we're here. We're at the fight for our life. I've been copied. You heard the story. There was a red ocean and a blue ocean. The red ocean was one that everybody knew about. The blue ocean was a new one. I invented the first sales training platform for the insurance restoration industry. I was copied. What's up, guys? I'm at the Aria here in Las Vegas, and I'm extremely excited to let you know that we are going to spend all day in the dojo, Brad Lea's studio. Now, Brad Lea, if you don't know him, is the interactive sales genius. He's the interactive sales coach to Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, and Damon John. And I'm going into a green screen, a studio. I don't know how much money is spent. It's a multi-million-dollar fill when you go in, though. You're treated like royalty. It's VIP service. We've got Kimberly, who's helped prepare a detailed script. See, years and years I've been creating this platform, Sky Diamonds University, and doing training online and figuring out what's the best way to teach people, onboard people, ways to duplicate myself and train salespeople of other contractors. And you know what? When you're doing things, sometimes you can make the mistakes and figure it out for yourself, or you can hire a coach, accelerate your time to get to the top, and immediately put out great results. And so that's what I decided to do in hiring Brad Lea, and I'm going to tell you, the results are going to blow your mind away. I can't wait to share with you these new programs. We shot a commercial roofing sales masterclass, a recruiting masterclass, and all internet marketing and social media hacks to grow your business. Y'all come on, take a look with me in the studio. It's a wrap, y'all. I just got done putting together more than 4 hours of finished content in this professional studio with the best interactive sales training people in America. I'm freaking pumped. I'm extremely excited about what we've done. I can't wait to actually get my little mentor session with my man Brad Lea. There is like a ton of championship entrepreneurs that are teaching through this platform. My biggest takeaway from this whole experience is sometimes you can try and do things on your own, or you can hire a coach and accelerate the time that it takes to get to the top. And one thing I hate losing. I hate the pain and agony of defeat. And if you hate that as much as I do, then you'll make any sacrifice to win. And that's why I went ahead and invested.
Are you now that he came here and stepped up and had us do it.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
because you have Kimberly.
That's right, she did a great job.
Right, so either keep writing us checks, we'll just keep loaning you her, or we'll teach you how to do it so you don't need Kimberly. You can do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The question is knowing how. Well, here's how. You emulate what you do in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So you just think, what do I do in real life? And if you don't know, like you haven't really thought about it, do what you're doing right there. Because if you walk into a room of 10 people that paid you $1,000 to come train you, does that happen?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just record it, and then you're gonna hear what the hell you said, every word. And you'll realize, oh man, I asked this question, and I asked this question, and I responded this way because this person said this. Then you get that transcribed, which is cheap. Pay $100, get it transcribed, and they give you back a script. Well, that is the basis of your course now. Now you go through and you take out the ums and the ahs and the jokes and the crap you don't want and the shit that you actually forgot to say. You add that, and then all of a sudden you're like, boom, there's a fully interactive script ready to go. And it's based on what I did in real life. Because what you do in real life is that's supposed to be. I'm supposed to say, you can't afford $1,000 to have Lee come in. Can you afford $300 and have Lee come in for a month? Yeah, give me $300 a month. And the virtual Lee will come in here and say and do exactly what the real one would have, minus the fucking jokes and the strong cologne. But I'm just giving you the information. How you get it done is irrelevant. Mm-hmm. Because when you go up to a roofing company, big or small, mm-hmm. you're gonna try to sell a result, not your training. Like if you ever catch yourself going, we'll train them this, it has nothing to do with that. When you sell it, you're trying to sell the result. So if I could show you how to increase 30% revenue in your contracting business, would you be interested?
Yes.
Great, let me show you how I do that. There's two ways. I can come in and train them for $1,000 a day, or I can train them virtually for $300 a day or a month. What's better for you? Or I can do both. I can come in for $1,000 and then leave that behind to give the repetition necessary to learn. That's the one we recommend. Give me $1,000 to show up, I'll kick it off, answer questions, and when I leave, that'll be assigned, and I'll technically pop up and train them more and more with repetition, and I'll track everything they're doing, I'll test them, I'll role play with them, I'll tell managers if they're logging in, if they're not logging in, if they're getting it, if they're not getting it. I'll track and measure everything. Notice how I'm saying I'm not saying the system will, I'm saying I will. Doesn't it sound better?
It sounds a lot better.
Yeah, because you're not removing you from the equation. Oh, you can't afford me? Well, then I'll give you a password to that, and that will, people can log into that, and that'll track them, and that'll test them. No, dude, you just removed yourself right out of the whole conversation. I'll do it. That's you. That's an extension of you. That's the virtual you. Can't afford the real me? Hire the virtual me. What's the difference? Really none, because I virtualized everything I'd say and do in real life anyway. Well, then why would I hire you live? You wouldn't. Just hire that. Because quite frankly, sometimes people think that that'll cannibalize their live business and they're worried about it. If I have 1,000 people giving me 300, it will do that, but you won't want the live business. You'll double your fee. It'll be 10 grand a day.
Because you live business, I don't do that.
Yeah, you won't even want to do it anymore if you get enough volume on that, because you'll have so much money. The only reason you're going to do live business now is because you want that loot. Eventually, you don't want any loot because you got enough of it. So someone says, hey, can you come out live? No. Or please, okay, 50 grand. And people will start going, okay, because that's what your price is. But the goal is to create a system that emulates you. So if you're going to walk in and teach someone door-to-door objections, what would you say? How would you say it? What questions would you ask? How would you role play with them? What would you do? And then you emulate that somehow there. So when I go through your door-to-door or your live, it's like, holy crap, this is exactly the same. Then you hit the target dead on. And now when you go sell it, what I'm saying makes sense. You know, if someone's selling it for you, because eventually you'll have people on the phone selling it for you. You know, how would you like to have Lee Haight training all your people every single day? What would it be worth if you had Lee Haight on staff to train your 12 people how to increase their productivity by 40%, 50%? We had one client doing it. They were making $20,000 a month. We basically put them on this, and now they're doing 200 grand a month. So now I'm just selling it. And if I ever demonstrate it, I want to be able to go in and show them the interactivity. See, most of these other clowns, they're going to log in. It's just going to be a regular old one-size-fits-all video. What we have is we built a learning technology that allows us to ask questions, and based on those answers, alter the information so it better fits your employee. That way we can ascertain what the real problem is. Some people's problem might be closing. Some people's problem might be, getting past the objections. Some people might be fear of rejection. So we can assess people by asking questions and adapting to create.
What's up, guys? I'm here with somebody you've seen on screen. Peter Galetta. You might have seen him on The Wolf of Wall Street. He's Jordan Belfort's right-hand man, and there's some game-breaking shit going on here in Vegas. What's happening, bro?
That's right.
What's happening? What are y'all doing?
Actually taking the straight line system that Jordan developed back in 1988, and we're going to make an interactive version, and there is no other company on the planet that does it better than Lightspeed Vt. So when you take and combine two major forces, Jordan Belfort straight line system with Brad Lea's technology, you have something that is going to be probably the best system in the world. And I can't wait till it's launched.
Dude, I can't wait till it's launched because I have consumed Jordan's content in one form. That's the book. And if you don't have The Way of the Wolf, stop what you're doing right now and go get it because it kind of changed my life. And I'm going to share with you something. I've followed all kinds of sales trainers. As a matter of fact, when I was 12 years old, I got in trouble. My dad made me read the parable from Og Mandino's book, The Greatest Salesman in the World. I had to read that in front of the mirror. And so one thing I think about Jordan and the straight line system is it's the easiest system to teach. It makes the most sense. It's so logical. And really, when you get into a salesperson that's new, you don't want to confuse them because what does a confused person do?
They quit.
They quit.
They don't do anything.
They don't do anything.
Freeze.
They freeze. They freeze. And so when you simplify how you can add certainty, how you can identify the biggest pain point, this is the beauty of the straight line system. Tell them one thing that I don't know about, just not by reading the book. One specific thing that's going to be in this training that's not anywhere else.
The tonality is the key. Tonality is the key in selling anything or persuading anybody or influencing anybody in any manner. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And there is no better system on the planet that describes the tonality in a sales process or does it any better than Jordan. I met Jordan in 1988. And I knew it was special then. I just didn't realize I'd wake up one day and it would be turned into a major motion picture, but A-list actor, Leonardo DiCaprio, one of the best directors that you could possibly find. I knew it was that special then, but now we put the straight line system on the interactive platform, and see, I ask companies questions, and they'll spend a tremendous amount of money on marketing, they'll spend a tremendous amount of money on advertising, and I ask them this one particular question: how much money you spend on training your people? And that's what I get: silence. And then they think about it. Now you have an opportunity to work with Jordan on a one-on-one basis on any given day, 24/7, 365. So if you wanted to hire him, it'll cost you over $100,000 a day to be taught by him specifically. I had the opportunity back in 1988, and I knew at that point it changed my entire life from that point forward. I mean, I was making $50,000 a month at 19, 20 years old. That's pretty powerful.
It's incredible. I
didn't know livestock from common stock. I just didn't know anything. I had gone to one of the best prep schools in the country. I basically kind of dropped out. I didn't go to college. I didn't want to really get involved in my father's businesses at the time. So I decided to venture out onto Wall Street. And I actually sought out Jordan. I worked at the penny stock firm. I answered an ad in the newspaper, answered the ad, got licensed, and I found out that there was this one big monster producer in Great Neck, Long Island, and his name was Jordan Belfort. And I was smart enough to know that I needed to align myself with that particular individual because I had a vision for myself at that time to go big, real big. So I had to figure out a way to get myself into that office, and I did exactly that. So when I got to the office, he basically had his own little firm set up in the back, and I kind of, introduced myself, got to know him a little bit. About 2 months later, we understood that the firm was being investigated by the SEC. It was a penny stock firm. They were doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes we really weren't aware of at the time. And they were doing a big corporate meeting at the Hyatt Regency in Manhattan, which is right next to Grand Central Station, right? So I go to the meeting and they make the announcement they're closing the firm down. But they actually paid everybody that night. So here it is, I just get licensed and the party's over before I even have an opportunity to get started, right? So I'm standing next to Jordan and Jordan pulls out his check, and his check was for $65,000. He shows me his check, I'm 18 years old, 65 grand, right? So they close the firm, I don't have any opportunity, what am I gonna do now? So I look at Jordan, I say, well, what are you gonna do? And he goes, give me your phone number, I'm starting my own firm. 2 weeks later, he gave me a call and the rest is history.
So do you have one deal, one moment, like wherever it changed your life, closing the deal, using the system?
Hey, let me ask that question and then save the answer, because I'm all your guys' taxi.
Oh.
Let's say it in the car.
So you're in Naples, that's exit 101 right on 75, right?
Yeah.
What community are you in?
It's actually called the Royal Harbor.
Okay.
So Port Royal is the one that all the super rich live in with the $100 million homes.
Yep.
Just right across the bay. This is what I was just talking to Brad about before you got in there. We want to do a mastermind. We want to do a live event, and a lot of the big things that people are doing right now is marketing online with Facebook ads, selling with webinars, doing interactive training, and a sales king like Jordan, the straight line system to headline. That would be like an amazing thing.
That shouldn't be difficult.
No,
At all.
not at all.
I'd like Jordan's there, just advertise that, you get 2,000 people.
I know.
Jordan's there.
I would really like to see him fill Yankee Stadium, to be honest.
Right.
I want to see him do a stadium event.
Absolutely.
With 40 to 60,000 people.